Hey everyone, this is Jordan from Sleeklens.com. In this video, we're going to review the Quntis LED monitor lamp. That we've done a couple of these in the past where these are monitor lamps that will basically attach to the top of your monitor screen and will kind of act as a way of reducing glare when you're trying to work and also kind of free up desk space as well. So you don't have to have a lamp sitting on your desk. This is a great way of combining both of those. So we've done a couple of these in the past with the BenQ monitor. We've done a couple reviews with the kind of version 1 and version 2, and this is just another option by a different company. And we're going to talk about the differences between this one and the others that we reviewed, because the others, the BenQ ones, have been more of an industry standard, I would guess. There's a lot of companies that make these, but they definitely have done a lot of work with those, and so this one is just another step in that direction for Quntis. So we're going to talk about the pluses and minuses here. So what comes in the box here is basically just a very bare bones kit, and it includes the light, the anchor, and the cord, and a couple little adjustments, mounting adjustments, I guess, to fit different screens. And just like with any other monitor lamp, you basically just attach it to each other, put them both together, put it on top of your monitor, and the anchor should, I put that in parentheses, should hold it back, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. So the lamp actually comes with a couple different features. We have some temperature adjustments. You can change the white balance, basically, of the light. You can change the brightness, and it also has auto sensitivity, which it will detect the light around you and change that for you, so you don't have to worry about it. So it'll detect the ambient light and change everything for you, and that's a really cool feature that they included on this LED lamp. Some other features, especially for monitor lamps like this, it has basically zero flicker. It does have the color temperature that I just discussed, the brightness as well, the auto sensitivity, 50,000 plus hours of life. So this thing is probably going to last a very long time. Even if you're running it a full 8 hours a day, it's still going to last a very, very long time. So the pros with these types of lamps, especially this one, is it is smaller than the BenQ, which I do like. I felt like the BenQ was a little bit too big, especially because these LED lamps can really pump out a lot of light. So it was a little bit too big. This one is a little bit smaller, which is really good, and it does have a little bit more of sensitivity when you press the buttons. The BenQ, I did have to press a little bit harder for it to change. This one is a little bit more sensitive, which is great. But let's talk about the cons, I guess, the negatives of this. So one of the negatives is that the anchor is a little bit too light. So when I put it on my screen, if I press just a little bit, I just talked about it being very sensitive. If I press just a little bit harder, it will wobble back and forth, and I do have to keep adjusting it. With the BenQ, the anchor on the back was very heavy, so it did not move at all, pretty much. So that is one kind of negative. You feel like you have to keep adjusting it on your screen. The other negative for this one specifically is that it does cover on my iMac. It does cover my my front-facing camera, basically my webcam. It does cover that, whereas the BenQ one did not cover that. So it might be different on different monitors, but I know on my iMac specifically, it does cover the whole. So if I ever wanted to use the webcam, I do have to adjust it or take it off completely, which this could actually be a really good light for those webcams. So you kind of have to either move it over or do something to adjust it. It's just not going to be able to be there on all the time if you're using your front-facing camera. Also, the color temperature settings, there are only a few settings from what I've seen. There's only a few settings that you can change it to. So you basically have cool white, cool blue, really warm, or neutral. I mean, there's only a few settings. Whereas the BenQ one, you were able to really adjust the spectrum all the way as much as you really wanted to. This one, you can definitely tell the differences between the different color temperatures, where if you really want it to be warm and you press the warm setting, it's a little bit too warm for me. So then I press it again and it's a little bit too cool for me. So there's a little bit of adjusting that has to go along there. But even with those pros and cons, you're still getting a pretty good bang for your buck compared to other LED monitors out there on the internet. You're getting a really good example here of what can really help with your workstation, especially if you were a desktop user. If you are a laptop user, you still can use this monitor. I wouldn't recommend it because there's really no point in it, I guess. But you can still use this, but you will be obviously taking it off and on and depending on the type of laptop that you have, you will have to adjust the settings to make it fit and make it fit nicely. Most likely it will cover the webcam as well, so you really have to think about that. I would really only recommend these for desktop users. So if you want to see more information about that or learn more about it, head down to the link down in the description down below. You'll see more information there and check the pricing, the current pricing of the Quntis LED monitor lamp. So thank you guys for joining me in this video. This has been Jordan from Sleeklens, and I'll see you in the next one.